This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I'm bringing back a returning guest. They were on my show back in April of 2017. We're talking about Seafarer Exploration Corp. You can find them on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol SFRX. And with us today is Dr. Mike Torres. He's the Chief Technology Officer, been there for about a year and a half. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You guys got basically two flagships products, the blockchain technology and also the Go and Find product that you guys are still doing, the shipwreck exploration. That being said, bring us up to speed on the blockchain technology that's actually starting to bring in revenues.
Well, currently we have contracts out right now for a signature that is actually selling to various government agencies to use the encryption technology that we've developed with our partners at PNS to kind of secure and make certain data immutable. So that's an extra revenue generator for the company, since we do have a partnership with PNS and they do have a unique position within the market for blockchain technology. It made sense to us to partner up with them. And
then your other one that you guys are still working on?
ARIT. It stands for Advanced Autonomous Radar Interrogation Technology. Essentially what it does is it's an autonomous subsea vehicle that goes down and take the profile of the subsea floor and will detect noble metals, 692 noble metals and the derivatives. Now, what's unique about the system itself is that it can actually take an alloy and tell you what content of what is the content of the alloy. And on top of that, we can also find rare earth minerals, like, for instance, europium, because it is a noble metal.
So these two new developing new technologies, what does it mean to your company and why should it be so special to our investors?
Oh, well, it's a new concept. This study just came out in 2017 for external quantum efficiency. It's essentially applied particle physics. No one has this device yet. This device is brand new to the market. It's unique that it can detect and differentiate between those noble metals that I've told you about. Now, it can be used for, like I said, mineral detection. It can be wreckage, search and rescue. It can you can find gold and silver on some of these older wrecks. You can also point this at a hull of a destroyer and tell by the content of lead in the paint if it's ours or not. So it has multiple applications, and it is a brand new technology.
Well, that being said, are you guys in the beta testing? How are you going to monetize it? Are you thinking about loaning it out to other shipwreck companies?
We are, and also various agencies within the federal government itself.
Is it my understanding that you guys are helping to build revenues for Seafarer? How are you going to do that to build revenues? I'm sure that a lot of my listeners would like to do. They've been following your company now for the last 2 to 3 years. How do you plan on building revenues in 2019?
Well, first we're going to our site, which we have federal admiralty rights on to detect the La Concepcion, which is one of the Spanish galleons from the 17th fleet. It's carrying roughly about $4 billion according to the manifest in Sevilla, Spain. That would be one area of revenue. The other area of revenue would be leasing to various companies, like you said, other treasure hunters around the country, and also to generate by selling the organic version of ARIT to several interested state agencies and federal agencies that have approached us.
My guest today is Seafarer Exploration Corp. You can find them on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol SFRX. With us today is Dr. Mike Torres, Chief Technology Officer of the company. I understand you guys made a major find for Seafarer. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. What we did was we used satellite imagery and augmentation software to scan the site for wreckage debris. So we went to the most northern wreckage trail, and we went to the most western point on that, and we found a Peruvian death mask that is roughly about the Columbia University and Tulane University are arguing over the age. One puts it at about 2,500 years old. One puts it about 12,000 years old.
Wow.
We believe that Spanish tomb raiders actually were permitted to go and raid these tombs, and we think it came from a pre-Incan culture and it's made out of iridium. So somehow they figured out to smelt iridium, which its smelting point is about 4,700 degrees Fahrenheit. So they had to figure out blast furnaces to do this. It took serious thought to smelt this piece of metal, and it's one of mankind's earliest examples of its ability to metalwork. It's impressive. It changes the way we think of pre-Columbian cultures right now.
And I saw a picture of yourself finding something on a beach in Melbourne. What was that all about?
So at about 150 yards away from the site that we found the mask, we found a Spanish piece of 8, which was dated 1712, which would put it squarely on that ship at the time. Because that coin was struck in Havana, Cuba.
So what does that mean, the bottom line? Are you guys going to go and bring it up? You're going to explore it? You're going to sell the rights to it? What comes next?
We're going to excavate it. We have a exploratory permit right now. We will, once we have contacted the state and then apply for our salvage permit, we're going to go and bring the rest of it up.
In closing, Dr. Torres, what would you want my listeners to take away from this interview?
That right now, Seafarer has become a defense and aerospace contractor, and we are currently active on the site right now. We are on the debris trail, and things are getting exciting. Things are getting very exciting on this end.
Well, your stock price is only 0.2 of a cent, market cap just a tad bit over $8 million. Your thoughts on that?
It's early stage. It's we're treating ARID as a startup, and it is under the umbrella of Seafarer. Seafarer will benefit, and the revenues will go to Seafarer. So it's an exciting time. I know the price is low, but there's not much downside right now.
Well, my guest today has been Dr. Mike Torres, Chief Technical Officer of the company. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's my privilege to have you on here. Hopefully you'll become a regular guest. Give us an update in 40 or 50 days of what's going on with the exploration and what's going on with the shipwreck.
Absolutely. It'd be an honor.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire, LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.